Hey guys. So, just a little update. It is approximately, and I'm trying to find out what time it is here. I think it's like 9 o'clock in the morning or so. So it's probably really late U.S. time. We are in the middle of the ocean. We are not moving hardly at all, like just about zilch. We can't see land from our TV, so this is what we're seeing on our screen. As you can see, there is no land in sight, which we kind of expected because we found out last night that we were not going to be going to the airport until 7 p.m. is our transfer time, and I think our flight leaves at 10 p.m. and we're supposed to get into Atlanta at 4:10 in the morning tomorrow. So we are waiting. We've had breakfast. Well, I fasted. I did not have anything to eat. But so we are doing well. I surprised John, my room steward, with a free cruise that they gave us to be used within 12 months. So he was a happy boy. He will be a passenger instead of a slave to possibly very sick people. So that was good, and I'm sure he's happy about it. And I'm not giving it to anybody I love. Well, I love John, but John's used to being on the boat. He's used to being on the cruise, so he's probably way more comfortable with taking another cruise than I am. But I'm going to show you what's going on outside. I guess nothing. So they're gathering the trays from breakfast. I still have not been up on board, and I have not slept. So I have an adrenaline rush going on that probably will not last me long enough to get back to Atlanta. But I will sleep on the plane. We did not get flight information from Atlanta to our airports. I don't know if that means that we will be quarantined in Atlanta federally. That did happen to the passengers on the Diamond Princess and has happened around the country with outbreaks and stuff like that. So it's possible that we will be quarantined in Atlanta because we don't have flight information. Nobody got flight information. We are sitting at sea. I don't believe that we are really moving very much. And we were told that we would be in port at 10 p.m. last night, but again, we have a lot of misinformation that we're being told. I have the voice recordings of the different things that they've done, the announcements, and I believe the last one said that we were supposed to be docked in Marseille at 10 or 11 o'clock last night. I don't know. I did hear that Costa actually paid for our flight back to the United States, not the U.S. government, and that they did arrange that. So kudos to Costa. I did actually get a refund for my spa portion according to my bill that I got at 2 o'clock in the morning. They did actually refund the spa that I did not get to use on this trip. So that was all I was asking for. And I am not taking or not asking for a refund or anything like that because several things about America that bother me, and it's the lawsuit happy. I understand that lawsuits kind of make companies stand up and take responsibility, but there's other ways of making a company stand up and take responsibility for what happened. And first of all, you have to know what happened, and we don't know what this captain knew, and when he knew it. We don't know why he made the decisions that he made. We don't know a lot of things, and there are a lot of variables that we may never understand. I hope we do. I hope that that they are made to explain some of the decisions, especially going out into the middle of the Atlantic with the known virus on board and suspected virus, and the fact that they knew that there was an issue. So that I think needs to be explained, and I think it needs to be fixed because I'm not sure if that was because countries were refusing to take medical patients, and they were trying to get us back as quickly as possible to where people would actually take medical patients. I did hear that there are quite a few sick people on board, and a lot of those are quarantined here on the ship. We don't know the condition, and I actually don't know personally. I know that there's a lot of people coughing. There's still a lot of people coughing on this hallway. I can't tell you that that's coronavirus, but there's a lot of coughing. So I'm not sure what's going to be done with those people that are coughing. I know that we have to go through a health screening before we leave the boat. We are going on lots of buses, only 20 to a bus in order to keep the distance. And I am so excited to actually get on board. I have not been out of this room in so long. Like, I'm so ready to get out of this room. And I know you guys are dealing with the same thing at home. So you're probably dealing with it a little bit better than me. So there was some panics and stuff like that. But anyway, so if you guys want to know anything, I have data to use because I bought 3 gigabytes after I ran out of data like 3 days ago, and I've been like stingy with it. I've only been messaging my mom and dad. I have refused all interviews. I have not done any FaceTime interviews or Skype interviews or anything like that. I have refused all press except for Rob from New York Times, who has just been emailing me back and forth and checking on us and making sure that we're okay. And so I've just been like texting him updates and stuff like that. I want to get home. I don't want to jinx any of this by talking about it until we are safe on USA land. And until we know whether or not, we're going to be quarantined and all that stuff. So, I have tons of video. It is for everybody. I am not charging. There's nothing whatsoever that the videos I will probably put on YouTube for me, and I will probably make a little video or something like that of this journey. But yeah, that's... so for all of you that are wanting interviews, please wait till I get home. Now it's not a data issue, it's just I want to get home. And I know that you're interested in it's a story right now, but there's so many other stories out there. I can't tell you how many people have been affected by this, and I haven't heard a lot of stories out there about those people that are wondering if their paycheck's coming tomorrow. I haven't heard a lot of stories out there about people, instead of hoarding stuff, that they're giving stuff away. There's so many other stories out there than this one little ship. And I actually looked on Cruise Mapper, and if you've got a Cruise Mapper app on your phone, if you look at it, you can tell where all of the ships are. There's a lot of ships out there. There's a lot. Norwegian Jewel, and I know they don't have any cases on board and they're having fun, but they have no place to go. I think they're trying to head to Hawaii today or in the next little bit. But there's an announcement. You actually get to hear one.
Signore e signori, attenzione prego. Inizieremo a misurare la temperatura di tutti i nostri ospiti. Chiediamo gentilmente a tutti gli ospiti del Ponte 8 di procedere adesso in cabina e restare lì finché il nostro team arriverà a misurare la vostra temperatura. Grazie per la vostra collaborazione.
Ladies and gentlemen, may we have your attention, please? We are going to continue with taking the temperature of all of our guests. We request all guests who belong to Deck 8 to please now proceed to your cabins and remain there until our teams arrive to take your temperature. Thank you for your cooperation.
I thought we were quarantined.
Mesdames et messieurs, votre attention s'il vous plaît. Nous allons continuer à prendre votre température. Nous demandons à tous les passagers du pont 8 de rester dans leur cabine à l'intérieur jusqu'à que nos équipes arrivent pour prendre la température. Nous vous remercions de votre coopération.
Sehr geehrte Damen und Herren, wir bitten um Ihre Aufmerksamkeit. Wie wir Sie bereits gestern schriftlich informiert haben, starten wir auf der Kai, auf Deck 8, nur mit den Temperaturmessen aller
They're
Gäste.
saying everybody from deck 8 go to their cabins. I thought we were supposed to be in our cabins.
Bei Ihnen vorbeikommen.
Like, did somebody forget to tell me that we only had to be in our cabins for meals?
Señoras y señores, atención por favor. Empezaremos ahora a tomar la temperatura de todos los huéspedes. Pedimos a todos los huéspedes del puente 8 que se dirijan ahora a sus camarotes y que permanezcan allí hasta que nuestro equipo llegue para tomar su temperatura. Repito, pedimos a todos los huéspedes del puente 8 que se dirijan ahora a sus camarotes y que permanezcan allí hasta que nuestro equipo llegue para tomar su temperatura. Gracias por su cooperación.
We have so many countries of people that are on board.
Mina damer och herrar, uppmärksamhet tack.
So I knew that people were going and sneaking out of their rooms, but I didn't think that it was done with the knowledge of the people on board. So that means I can actually go upstairs. So guys, because they're saying to come back to your cabins, and that's assuming that they know that it's okay to be out of our cabins, I will take you upstairs when we get close to Marseille. And I will show you the happenings of the port, whatever there is. When we pulled into Tenerife, there were tons of cop cars and ambulances and police lines and people dressed in weird outfits, and a lady that was going around on the port verifying and talking to the people in the ambulances, telling them what they were allowed to do and what they were allowed to touch and how to do their hands and all that stuff. So because they're telling people to come back into their rooms on deck 8, that means that they're aware that there's people out on top. So yeah, I'll take you up there a little bit later, but we're not near land right now, so I'm gonna stay in my cabin because there's a lot of coughing going on out there. And quite honestly, my quarantine from them started 3 or 4 days ago. So that gives me a little bit of a leg up if they're still exposing themselves to each other and all this stuff. And people are not self-isolating here. Like there's people that are coughing like all the time and are still going upstairs. And they keep saying, oh, it's not a big deal, it's just a cough. I had the air conditioning on last night, or so there's smokers. And I've been saying, there's a lot of smokers, so they're probably just smoker coughs and stuff like that. But because they are all coughing and all that stuff, and I'm afraid that they will say, the lady with the tape that I put on the video, that was running around the hallway with the tape on her arms, they were coming by like knocking, and whoever wasn't in their room, they were putting tape on the door. So I was afraid that they were like marking the people that did not actually quarantine and were gonna keep them. So yeah, that was my panic thing. But yeah, so I was like, I told my dad's like, are you doing what you're supposed to? And I'm like, Dad, I'm doing exactly what they're telling me to do. Which he knows, and my son knows. I don't always do. I don't listen to a lot of advice sometimes. So, but yeah, I have been listening, and I'm just watching the TV up there to see if we're getting near land, because I'm like getting anxious. So anyway, I know you guys are kind of getting tired of these videos, but they will be part of my social book when I print all this stuff. And it'll have like a little thing on there, so when I put my phone on it, I'll be able to actually see these videos later on, as long as we have iPhones, which, who knows how long that'll last. About as long as VCRs did, right? So anyway, but at least for a little while, I'll be able to like point my phone camera at the videos and be able to play it for a little while. Anyway, I know I'm getting tired and I'm getting anxious, and I have a lot of data to use, and I tried uploading videos to YouTube, and too many minutes. I long-winded the whole trip, so all my short ones, I kind of need to put them in order of the time that I actually videotaped them, but who knows. So if you guys have questions, just ask, and there's really not much to... People have been asking me, like, what do you do in your cabin? I was like, oh, I don't do anything. I lay in my bed, play with my baby doll, and exercise sometimes, and talk to you guys. do all kinds of stuff on the Facebook thing. So comment and listening to your stories and all that good stuff. So, but anyway, if you guys have any questions, let me know, and I probably should get off of here so that my video is not humongously long. But anyway, we're bored. I'm bored. So I don't know what to do. I've got till 7 o'clock. We're supposed to my transfer, or well, all of the entire United States people on board are supposed to leave at 7 p.m. But I guess we're getting ready to do temperature checks per floor. So if you want to stay long enough, I will show you a temperature check when they come by and do the little thermometer checking. It's like a little laser that they point on your forehead, and they just basically do the reading. They're actually doing it correctly now. I heard a lot of people say that in the port when we were leaving that they aimed it like a foot and a half away from somebody when, to do it on their forehead. So I was like, yeah, that doesn't really help if you're doing it from like 2 feet away. But they're actually doing it correctly, I think, at this point. And so we'll get a temperature check, and I think we have to go through like a health check. But I will try and if I can't take, I probably won't be able to do live video, but if I do, I'll try and do some videos as we're going through this whole process today and tonight. And I know that's, for me, that anyway is going to be the most weird part, because we know nothing about what's going to happen. They haven't told us anything. Like, basically, this is your flight number, you have a transfer at 7 o'clock, your flight leaves at 10 o'clock, and the last word that we have was that we're ending in Atlanta. So everybody is ending in Atlanta. There's no flight information for anybody past Atlanta. So we don't know if we're going to be tested or if we're going to be turned over to the federal government. We don't know what's going to happen. So we're just waiting and seeing. And I'm getting tired, guys, so I'm going to get off of here and lay down for a little bit. I did not sleep at all last night. That's why I've got a little bit of energy and a lot of talking going on. So anyway, thank you, everybody, and I'll do another update.